Welcome back to Best Practice TV. In this episode, we're talking about a book that I would highly recommend to a lot of people. There are a lot of great books. This particular book is for a great cause, and I really think it's a good philosophy. It's got some great tools, and it's going to set you up for your personal life. So it's not just about work life, but obviously your personal life. Stay tuned. So what I'm reading, and people ask me all the time, what books are you reading? What can you recommend? Book reviews, all that sort of stuff, is Unshakable, Tony Robbins' last book. I have followed Tony Robbins' journey since I was about 16 and a half years old, and he was introduced to me as a motivational speaker. I was given a whole bunch of cassette tapes. Now in this particular book, it's interesting. He's got obviously some upfront principles. It's all about investing and use your money to make money. And there's some good sort of philosophies around that. But what's even more important and what's really great about this particular book is it rounds out the whole personal strategy and the whole personal journey that you're embarking on when you do start to look at investments. Now, obviously, a lot of the book talks to investing in shares and the share market and the different share markets, but it does give you some introductory descriptions of, all the different types of investments that you can make. So obviously, you can invest in shares, you can invest in houses, you can invest in shares that are building companies that invest in houses, super funds, annuity funds, banks, central banks, money, gold, metal, all those sorts of things. And it does give you a little bit of an introduction, but what it does is help you frame up a personal strategy. What I like most about this particular book is something that's very close to my heart, which is setting up your mindset. And at the tail end of the book, it talks about your emotional journey that you're going on. And it is really important to be, obviously practicing mindfulness, practicing gratitude. Now, I didn't expect to see that in an investment book. And I think because Tony has packaged it up in this particular book right alongside investing, I think it makes a lot of sense. And particularly for the guys out there that are maybe not as emotionally intelligent as you could be, I think it's a good opportunity for you to learn a little bit about how emotional intelligence and investment, this is hardcore making money, go hand in hand. In terms of the gold nuggets, the gold nugget in this particular book for me was setting your investment strategy up so you don't lose money. And what I say when I talk about that is that gold nugget is about not losing money. So you're going into a strategy to invest your money and obviously have your invested money stay the same or grow. And so what it acknowledges is that there are cycles in the market. So for example, if you monitor the market and you look at an investment strategy, the gold nugget is to say, well, the market's got cycles, it's got highs and lows. And you look at all the graphs, you look at all the statistics, and there is tons and tons and tons of free data analysis if you Google. So if you look at a particular share that you're interested in investing in any of the stock exchanges around the world, you can Google that share and Google give you a trends graph. It's absolutely fantastic and it's free. So look at the cycle over a 3 to 5 year period of that particular share and you can see the right time to buy. So it's not just, someone gives you a share tip off. When someone gives you a share tip off, that is never the right time to buy. The right time to buy in this strategy is a time to buy when you're not going to lose money. So you want to buy the share obviously in the low part of its cycle, or the stock exchange's low part of the cycle, anticipate the high part of the cycle. So backing up that particular gold nugget is time and investing and considering time. So it's not in and out type investments in anything that you do. It's about taking the long road, and that's why the mindfulness piece is so good. I really enjoyed this book. I'm still reading it. So the way I read a book is I look at the contents page and there's some tips around that, and I'll cover that in another YouTube video. But this particular one's got a great contents page. It's obviously about Unshakable, so it's about having an unshakable investment strategy. It talks about hidden fees and half truths. It talks about rescuing our retirement plans. It talks about who can you really trust, and then it goes into the actual investment strategy. The 4 core principles: slaying the bear market, obviously, silencing the enemy within, which is about the mindfulness, and obviously real wealth and what that is all about. Absolutely fantastic. So obviously I read the contents page first, I read then the chapter that I'm most interested in. I don't read the whole book straight away. I read the chapter I'm most interested in, and then I go to the back of the book. We look at the references. And so when a book is well referenced, then you know it's going to be a good quality book. This, in terms of how you actually put a business book together, this has been very well done. Now, the last thing I just want to quickly say about this book, and a big shout out to Tony Robbins, is that all the proceeds go to charity. So it's literally, if you Google what's happening with Unshakable, there's no profit being taken out of this particular project. It's every single cent of surplus from the cost of the book is going to charity, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So it's going to a great cause. It's a reference. You can see mine's dog-eared already because I've spent a lot of time with it. I'm going to start writing notes in it, and I'll use it as a notebook, and I'll use it as a, one of the things I refer back to. I'll see you next time on What Am I Reading here at Best Practice TV. Bye for now.